it is here, the Menace demo that we've all been waiting for. I go by the name Grid Commander, and I did receive some early access to this demo thanks to the developers on Hooded Horse. However, it is the same public demo that will be available to all of you guys shortly. In case some people missed it, and since this is the introductory episode of the playthrough, I'm going to talk about a couple things in the demo that people might not know or may have missed if you didn't read the developer diaries. I promise I'll make it quick. So this demo is just a combat demo. That means there is no strategy layer. We won't be upgrading our ship. We won't be doing anything like that. It is strictly an operation consisting of 3 missions to play. If we fail any of those missions, the entire operation is failed. And that's the same way it's going to be in the full game as well. We also only have 1 biome and 1 enemy faction, which is the Space Pirates. However, one cool thing about this is that everything is procedurally generated. So you see here, this is where we pick our missions and then they culminate in a final mission. We kind of get to pick the path. We have a couple different options. But if I back out of that and then I start a new game, we'll lose the unsaved progress. You see, we have a completely different set of missions here. I think there's a pool of 10 missions, they said, and it pulls from those, not to mention all of the maps will be procedurally generated. Another thing that I think people will want to see is if you look at the graphic settings here, there's actually quite a bit. There's upscaling. I'm not using DLSS or anything like that right now. So what you see here is just raw performance without any of the extra FSR, DLSS, anything like that. What I generally tend to do when I play any game is turn down the motion blur, the shadow quality, depth of field, all of that extra stuff that I don't think really adds anything. But there is quite a few options here. And if you're worried about performance or anything like that, you can see that there's a lot to adjust. So let's get into this. We're going to play through 1 full operation. Hope that we can survive the operation. We do have squads available to us. However, we can't recruit any new squads, do any hiring, black market, anything like that. We can adjust our squads from the squad menu here with a bunch of different items and equipment, or we can do it directly from the mission screen. And we got 2 choices here. So again, these operations consist of missions, and if we fail any of these missions, the entire thing is game over. We have 2 different choices here, and then we have 2 other choices based on what we clear here. I'm going to go with the stop extortion. Pirates have been extorting a local settlement for a little while. Something must have gone wrong as intense gunfire has been picked up by our sensors from the location. So we're going to head there ASAP and stop whatever it is the pirates are doing. Time is of the essence, and our objective is pretty simple. We just destroy 80% of all of the attacking enemies. These are the rewards that we'll get. There's a strategic asset, which is a civilian trading post, and we'll get a modular vehicle. Since this is the demo, I don't know how much those are actually going to play a factor. I don't think they do quite as much, but in the full game, they will. So this is the mission planning screen. We have our intelligence where we can kind of see it's going to be daytime, it's going to be clear, our objectives, and then we get a look at just what kind of enemies are in here. So the pirates, we have a bunch of mounted pirates, infantry, unknown entity. So that could be anything. That could be vehicles, that could be pretty much anything. We see our civilians are clustered here, and we have a cluster over here. This seems to be pretty evenly split on both sides. Lots and lots of pirates here. Remember, we don't have to kill all of them. We only have to kill, I think, 80%. Yeah, only 80%. No problem. So now we go to our squad customization. Let's see what we can do here. We do have a decent amount of items available. This is a pilot. So, for example, I can't use her without a vehicle. We have to add a vehicle. Otherwise, she can't be deployed just by herself. I think I'm going to put her in the ATV. We're going to give her a rocket launcher. She doesn't really need the smoke launchers, I don't think. The ATV should be good enough to not have to deal with that. Now, we also have a few promotion points available in the demo, so you'll be able to promote a couple of your squad leaders if you want, which is basically just picking out their skills and how you want to deal with that. I personally like the minus 50 AP cost for turning and reversing, because if you didn't know, in this game, heavy vehicles or any vehicle, anytime you have to rotate or turn, it does cost a decent amount of action points to use. And it's just one of those things that can be a little bit of a problem when you're in the heat of battle. You want to use all those action points as well, as much as you can. So we also have these civilians here. This is our deployment zone down here in the bottom. And we have to decide how it is that we're going to do this. Right now, she's currently not on the mission, but you can see the supply count for each of them is there. This is more of my covert squad, I think. We're going to use the suppressed AR. We won't give them... yeah, we won't give them any... They're going to be more of the quiet. So we won't give them any special armor or anything like that. 5-man, 6-man squad. However, this is going to be like my main infantry guy, anti-vehicle. We'll give them an AR. We'll give them the rocket launcher as well. They have some decent protective plating, so they can kind of move and do a little bit better in that regard. Maybe some fragmentation grenades, ammo bag. That'll give them more rockets. So you'll note we do only have certain amounts of these available. We have one of most things, 4 fragmentation grenades, which I actually haven't found to be all that useful yet. You'll probably see that as we play. But we have limited amounts of the type of armor. We have one suit of armor, pretty much. One person per suit of armor, I should say. Limited weapons, except for the basic carbine. So we kind of have to dole these out in very calculated ways. I'm definitely going to have a sniper squad. So we're going to give him the sniper rifle. And to go with that, I think we'll also give them the battle rifle. That way they're kind of doubly long range. And another thing, we have a recon drone, which I'm going to tell you right now. Recon in this game is extremely valuable. That's something you're definitely going to want. I'll keep my sniper squad. Soft armor. We're going to try to keep them back. Since she's still going to be in the mix, we'll give her the soft armor. I'm going to try to keep the sniper squad back a little bit and do more of the recon. But just in case, we do have one more promotion we can use. Minus 10 AP for next standard attack after moving. I do like that, because they're going to kind of be my main... Maybe I'll save that for the other infantry squad, though. So the biggest problem is here, you can see we have the max amount of supply points that we can use, plus how many we have utilized. And once I add this vehicle to the mission, that's a pretty hefty jump. But that's all right. I want to keep the vehicle, I want the rocket launcher, I want the mobility, so we're going to add that to the mission. Since this is my main kind of infantry squad to be on the go and anti-vehicle, I'm going to make them a 9-man squad. I might have to adjust that later, but for now, a 9-man squad. I'll keep my suppressed team. I'll give them some grenades. Yeah, they can get some grenades. And then I have my main infantry squad, which I'm also... Oh, my sniper squad. My mistake. My sniper squad, which I think I'm going to take one off because they're going to kind of hang back, so they shouldn't have to be in the mix as much. I can put that Squaddie onto a different one. So this is going to be my just heavy weapons main guy. We'll give him the infantry body armor. Class 3, very good. Let's see what he's got for skills. We can increase the deployment zone. I don't really think I need that. Doubles defense. And damage reduction when suppressed or pinned down. I think we're going to give them... We'll give them a little bit better cover. Because these are the guys that are going to be... Ooh. Yeah, see, I'm already over the supply limit. And I want them to be able to have the machine gun. I'm probably going to have to take away... We'll make this a 5-man squad. This is the delicate balance here. Oh, I forgot about her. I can just remove her from the mission, yeah. So yeah, that frees up a bunch. I can remove her from the mission. Keep both of these squads a little bit fuller. So now we've got the body armor, we have the light machine gun. Something to note about these special weapons, you can see where it says deploy, but it doesn't specifically tell you on this screen. But when you have to deploy, it means you have to stand in one spot and use AP to set up the weapon, basically. And very few of these, you don't need to do that. That's something very important to keep in mind. Like the rocket launcher, you have to deploy. I think the grenade launcher is the only other one you don't have to deploy. And the light machine gun. So that's why I'm giving him the light machine gun, because I want them to be able to do all of that on the fly without having to stop, deploy, move again, all of that. These guys are going to be like my frontliner grunt kind of guys. We'll also give them, I guess we'll give them a grenade too. My pilot, recon, ammo bag for the RPG. This increases our special weapon amount. A minimum of 2 additional uses. So they'll have extra. He's got body armor, or at least small arms protective plating. These guys are the snipers, the recon. I could probably maybe add one more squaddie. All right. Speaking of, before we do that, really quick, if you are wondering about the squaddies, so you can see here all the names. You have your Pike, which is the commander, the main guy. You can't change their name, but you can change everyone around them, and you can track everyone around them. So like if I remove people, you can see boop, 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 boop. No problem. Now you can go to, where is it? I forget exactly how to specifically, yeah, here it is. So here's the squaddie thing where you can change their names, their call signs. Yeah, you can change names, call signs, the home planet, and all of that. I don't know if you can change yet, but you are supposed to be able to change all of that in the full game. But I think you can only name them here. Now, this is from the available cast of 32 squaddies. That's something in the full game that will have to be managed. They said there's going to be a personnel center where you kind of recruit the meat grinder guys, and without those guys, you just won't have the squaddies. So you do have to make sure that you control how many of these guys you lose. If you play too recklessly, you have no squaddies, then you don't have any manpower, you only have the squad leaders, it becomes a problem. We're not going to get there. Hopefully. All right, so back to the mission select. We go back to plan mission. We got all of our squads set up. Everything's ready to go. Now we have to set our deploy. This is important. Both of these sections, unknown entity, unknown entity. I don't like that because that could be a vehicle. That could be anything. I don't like that. I'm assuming when they're mounted, that means they're on a transport vehicle. But we have roads here leading up to this side, and I think this might be the easier side to deal with at first. So we're going to have our vehicle come over here and just move up, flanked by the sniper squad. This is our main infantry anti-vehicle squad. We'll have them come up as well. I really don't want to just leave this side high and dry. This is actually kind of a tough split. So we'll send our infantry group up there. We have the sniper squad and another infantry group here. I need anti-vehicle capabilities on both sides, though. So we'll move them. This is going to be interesting with them being spread out over the map the way they are. We're going to have to play this very smart. Now we can minimize all of this, or we can keep this up. She doesn't have any squaddies because she's a pilot. Here you can see all the different squaddies. It'll tell you how many missions they've been on. If they die, their name will get crossed out. So that's kind of cool. Now, we know that we have enemies up here and enemies over here. And we have to destroy 80%. I can't move because the civilians are in the way. So we'll move the vehicle up. She does have a rocket launcher if she needs to get into battle. And then we'll have to end turn because the civilians are there. One thing I did notice is there's a lot of open areas in some of these maps. You can see there's not quite a lot of cover. So we're going to have to play that quietly. Sir. You hear the enemies ransacking the civilian town.
Major.
I'm going to move these guys up behind them just in case we get into trouble. They're going to have to cover each other's backs. You see up here, sir, kind of the turn order and what's going on. This is my main, this is my sniper group. One thing about this I will say is the icons can get confused pretty easily. Everything looks very small, and I would really like the ability to kind of like the option to make that bigger, at least.
Eyes and ears.
We're just going to kind of try to tactfully move until we run across these enemies. So I know they're going to come up. I want these civilians to get out of my way, though. That kind of... Just let me run them over. That kind of screws me a little bit, because now I have to drive all the way around. I did not expect her to go in reverse the entire way. I can rotate that vehicle. I'll have to show you guys. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to try to move towards this rock. I can move anybody in any order. However, I can only move them once per round. So like this is round 2. And once I move people in this round, like I already moved the pilot, she's grayed out. I can't move her anymore. I am a little concerned about what I'm going to run into up here. Where's my recon guys at?
Orders.
Before I get too crazy. All right, so we can see here we deploy the Falcon Recon. And look at the range on this thing. It can go crazy far. So we see some more civilians. No pirates yet, so that's good. Now we know we can kind of move up a little bit. Each squad has 100 AP. It costs usually 40 to attack for most of them, 20 to deploy. So if you have a special weapon, you have to deploy and attack. So it takes quite a bit of AP if you're going to do it all in one turn. It's something to keep in mind. You can zoom in, zoom out, but it's almost better to play this zoomed out just because the camera and like the scope of things. I can hear the pirates still causing a ruckus. I feel like we're going to get surprised. They're going to be up here somewhere. I just don't know where. There is no TAC map that I can pull up outside of the mission planning. That's the only one that we have. At least we know over here we can move kind of uninhibited, but there might be something in this area in the fog of war that we haven't seen yet. You never really know. Oh, now they move. Now they move. So we don't have to do anything to save the civilians. This is specifically just us killing the pirates. That's what we're looking for. We'll try to move these guys into cover and get a visual at some point. Yep, we see them. Alright, so these are pirates in a scavenger truck, just hanging out. And I think that's just a regular cargo hauler. So you should get an alert like you saw. He said movement. We see the pirates are hanging out in the truck. It would be great if I could destroy that truck before they get out of it. That is what that team is for. These civilians seem to be doing all right for the most part. We'll move the drone a little bit further because there's got to be... There we go. I'm telling you, surveillance is key. So these guys have a laser truck. Interesting. Highly accurate and effective against even heavily armored targets, but needs to constantly vent heat to keep firing. We don't want to fight that head on if we don't have to. That's going to be a problem. But if we can move our sniper team into position and maybe get a shot on these guys before they see us. But they're probably going to see the drone. They do see the drones. It's not like one of those things where it's just always there and the enemies don't seem to notice. Yeah, see? I figured that would be what they do. But that's a good thing too, though. You can also use the drones as like a decoy. Either way, the pirates are going to know we're here, so... I'll move her up, but not all the way. I don't want her to be completely exposed. But we do want to get a shot. If I can hit the rocket launcher on that laser truck, that would be fantastic. Look at the range on that guy, though. That's what that red outline is, the range. That's crazy. All of these guys have pretty crazy range. Here's an empty scavenger truck, which I'm assuming these guys got out of. Ooh. Okay, yeah. See, they're killing the drone. But it's bringing them forward, so that's kind of helpful for me, actually. We do have an airstrike or a minigun strafing run available, as well as an unguided missile strike. Those are two things that we have. We can call in, but we try to save those. I want to try to move up and take out this truck if I can. But I'll have to wait until next round to move my anti-vehicle guys. With these civilians in the way, there's only so much I can do here. Remember, these guys don't really have any armor. They have the soft armor, but nothing great. And as far as I know, if the civilians get killed, there's not a penalty or anything. I don't see any kind of, you know, like XCOM, save X amount of civilians or anything like that. We just have to kill the pirates and eliminate the menace. Not the actual menace. The pirate menace. Interested to see the actual menace. That is not in the demo. At least not as far as I've come across yet. That would be pretty crazy, though. Let me know what you guys think of, like, the voice acting and stuff, too. They're gonna get out before I get to kill them. They are definitely gonna get out before I get to kill them. Alright, so I have my sniper rifle squad. You're gonna see here pretty quickly that suppression... I'm gonna have to get these guys pinned down, or they're just gonna keep advancing and putting shots on me. Suppression is the name of the game here. It's gonna be very important. I don't love that truck got away, because now I can't see where they're gonna be at. But the immediate threat feels like these guys over here. What kind of AP do we got where I can... If I can take out this laser truck with one shot, that would be fantastic. I don't know that my line of sight will allow me to do so, though. What kind of pirates do we got here? I see rocket launchers. Double rocket launchers. So this could be disastrous for my vehicle. Maybe I won't take the risk just yet, I think. So I want to be able to deploy, which is going to cost me 20, and I want to take a sniper rifle shot, which is going to cost me 40. One thing to note about this unit is she has a skill where she disables specialist weapons for one turn. So if I attack these guys, the rocket launcher will be disabled for one turn if I use her. But I don't know that that's... Again, I don't know that I have a clear enough shot to do that without major issues. She's going to have to walk all the way around. So if I move here, deploy... Yeah, I should be able to do it. But that laser truck's going to be able to hit me. That's going to be So now you see they're deployed, crouched down. You can also use that for cover too, I believe. More cover. So they're crouched down. We have the sniper rifle, clean shot, good accuracy, full armor penetration. Not great suppression, but good enough that it'll put them down for a turn. So they're not going to pop right back up. It'll penalize them. And that's kind of the name of the game here. Suppression is a big deal because otherwise these guys are just going to keep putting fire on me and I won't be able to advance. It's a little bit different in these cluttered areas like this. It's a little bit different. But when you're trying to move across the open like these guys are, if there was a squad up here, I would want them suppressed and pinned down. Otherwise, I'm just a sitting duck. So suppression is going to come into play a lot, and you'll see that as the operation evolves. Yep. It's something I learned pretty quick playing this game.
What?
Since the immediate threat's still over here, I'm scared of those rocket launchers. Maybe we can get some cover back here. I'm hoping that I can put a rocket on this guy. Ideally. Excellent accuracy, full armor penetration. Let's go.
Hold still.
Excellent accuracy, and she missed. Oh, that's rough. So you see here, I can rotate the vehicle. I can kind of show her. Since I have that skill, it doesn't cost anything to rotate. But that kind of helps because the front is less vulnerable than the back and the sides. So we rotate her so she's facing them. Oh, that rocket was... I needed that. Luckily, he missed too, and he got closer.
Orders?
So that's even better.
Orders? Yeah.
Although I don't have anything to capitalize on that currently. I kind of screwed myself going into this compound because now I have to walk all the way around and spend all of my AP just to get out of it. And that is not cool. I don't know if I can shoot at this. But since I have no armor penetration, there's really no reason for me to shoot at it. I'm not going to do much to it with the weapons that I have. So I guess I have to spend the AP. I'll keep them in cover
Oscar Mike.
as they run through the barrels. Now these guys are probably going to advance and probably take shots at my vehicle, I would think.
Orders. Yeah. Orders. Repositioning.
Remember, there is last known location. A scavenger truck is driving around up here somewhere. We don't want to get surprised and caught out with that because they've probably exited by now, I would think.
About time.
So we're going to move these guys very carefully. Recon would be great over here right now. I'm going to spam recon drones in the full game.
Let's see you, Buck.
Yep, see, there they are. Everybody's going to have recon drones in the full game.
What?
But now that they see me, we have a problem. I don't know if they... Okay, so they missed two. RPGs at a distance are pretty wildly inaccurate, so it's not too big of a deal. I mean, I would think she'd be able to hit it, but maybe I should try to get a clearer shot. If I miss this one... Yeah, if I miss this one, I'm gonna be pissed. Boom. Laser truck down. That's satisfying. Look at that. That is satisfying. Now I gotta worry about their RPGs trying to take me out. So we'll move her to a little bit better angle. Position, readjust. And turn.
Vaporize them.
The pirate voices kind of remind me of like the cultists in Chaos Gate, if you ever played that. They have like that nasally... It's kind of entertaining. Like I said, I'm really interested to see what you guys think of the noise, the sound design, and like the voice design, the voice acting, all of that stuff.
Yep.
From earlier trailers, I know that was kind of a concern for some people, but I honestly think it's actually pretty solid. Better than I expected, truthfully. So again, these guys don't have to deploy to use their light machine gun, and the light machine gun is fantastic for suppression. So what we're going to try to do here is put these guys...
Game here.
Ah, there's two of them. What are they? What are these guys? Man, they're fancy. They look like a sniper team of some sort. They got some pretty cool guns there. Lever action. Alright, so this is a problem. We still have 76 AP, so not too bad. We can move if we need to. But who do we suppress? Good suppression, low accuracy. We're going to suppress these guys.
They're hogging dirt.
So now you see that they're suppressed. Again, it's kind of hard to see the UI elements, but you can see the bar above them. Let me see. There you go. You can see it a little bit better. So there's the 3 green bars above them. Those are the levels of suppression. When they're pinned down, they're fully suppressed, and they're going to have to spend AP to get up. They won't be able to attack you. They'll have to crawl. The same thing happens to my troops as well. But this is a key part of the game. Like now, these guys are out of the equation for at least one turn. But these guys, however, are not. So we want to try to move them, get them into cover.
Hey, I got something here.
Something I forgot to mention about... Did you see somebody else? Oh, there's all kinds of pirates over here. I don't know, man. This might call for an unguided missile strike. Unguided. So this might hit them, it might not. Yeah, we'll call in the unguided missile. So something I forgot to mention about operations is that they are persistent. So any casualties or vehicle damage and things like that that I take will continue until the next mission. If my vehicle gets destroyed or I lose a squad leader, they're done for the operation. That's it. So I do have to play carefully because we're only on mission 1 of 3. We're going to need all these guys to... So I can't move them because they're deployed. That's what this means. They have to get up. But I don't want them to get up. The sniper rifle. I love the sniper rifle. Neither of these guys is really that suppressed, but these guys already took their shot, so I'm going to choose these. We'll put 2 shots on them with the sniper rifle. We got 2 pirates dead, and the rest of them are pinned down. They are now out of the equation, at least for the time being. As the civilians make a run for it.
Orders?
So they're unaware of my other squad over here. Okay, another thing about this. I called in this unguided missile. You can see it's filling up this picture here. It's going to differ, obviously, but it takes 2 turns, for it to fully fill up, and then it hits. So, like, if I call in a missile, I kind of have to plan around where I think people will be. And if I can suppress people so they can't get up, like these guys, then I know that they will most likely get hit. Again, this is an unguided missile, so that might not happen. We're going to have to see. Maybe it'll hit me. But this is my assault team. They got the heavy armor, or decent armor, I should say.
On our way.
And the rocket launcher, but the rocket launcher is not really going to help me too much here because I have to deploy, and it's not really meant for infantry. It's more for vehicles. So I'm going to have to put shots on these guys. Nice. We did a lot of damage there. The assault rifles are nice. We just took out 4 of them. Now they're pinned down. These guys are pinned down. If we can keep them in position until the missile hits, we should be able to finish them off. I learned pretty quickly. You see how, like, all these guys kind of came out of nowhere. Ooh, I think we lost a squaddie there. The camera needs a little bit of work. It needs to pan back to... Yeah, we lost a squaddie. So one of them is down. I should be able to select them. That's a quality of life thing they're going to have to work on. I should be able to select them even when they're not playable so I can at least see, you know. But you'll notice these guys are still shooting at each other back and forth, even though they're not the focus of the turn, which is kind of cool. It makes it feel a little bit more alive.
Orders? Let's do this.
What do we got?
Orders?
All I got is her. All right. These guys... Man, same thing. I'm kind of screwed because my sniper team's posted up right there. So we got to go the long way around. Positioning is very important. Very important. We're going to keep them behind cover, just in case.
Wait, they're not dead. All right, no more trick shots. What?
The pirates do say a lot of humorous stuff. I will say that. It's kind of funny. So you can also see here, we only have 4 rockets left. We shot 2 of them already. These are limited.
Orders?
We are victored!
Let's see.
Sir,
How are we going to handle this? I have a squaddie down. The missile will be coming soon. If I can suppress more of these guys, hopefully the missile will come and deal with my light work and I won't have to worry too much about it. Low accuracy, low suppression. And we're taking shots from these guys, who are going to be a problem. So they're currently deployed because they got suppressed. I did not deploy them, but you can see that first bar is filled up there. So that's why they're squatted down, which kind of helps because now I can use the rocket launcher. But it won't really, yeah, it doesn't really suppress as much as it needs to here. So it doesn't matter that much.
sir.
What are my other options?
Yeah.
I can move these guys in. We can suppress these guys too. And hopefully this missile hits soon.
Fuck you, gate rippers.
I'm hoping the missile just kills all these guys. That would be fantastic. But we're still going to have a problem as far as
Flank them while they're shot.
this squad over here.
Fire mission underway.
Here we go. Missile incoming. Beautiful. Beautiful. Another thing about pirates, or units in general, is you can break their morale and cause them to flee. I'm really surprised she's still standing.
We're victored!
We're going to have to take care of these guys. We're going to have to... They're going to be a problem.
Moving!
Unfortunately, I don't have too much cover there.
What?
Orders?
Sir,
Maybe my sniper team can finish these guys off.
advance opportunity.
So we suppress them. Or suppression. The thing about the sniper rifle is it can only kill one at a time. And they're pretty large groups, so...
They really hate us.
But we can still do some damage to them, scare them a little bit, and pin them down. Oh, what are these guys? More of the same lever action.
Eyes up.
Those guys look pretty cool, though. I do like that. But man, pirates came out of the woodwork pretty quick. So something that confused me the first time, too, is this objective thing in the corner. I was thinking that it meant 50% was my progress to 80%. But if you play this demo, it is 50% to your 80%. But I thought that 50% when it hit 80%, when I initially read it, I thought 80% would be where I had to get to. That's not the case. So like I went crazy all in when I thought I only had to wipe one more squad to get that 80%. And then I realized this bar still has to go to 100%. Maybe that's a rookie mistake and poor comprehension on my part,
Orders?
but just a heads up.
What? Orders?
They're actually making this kind of easy for me. We're already 50% to the objective because they just keep coming out of the woodwork and rushing me.
Orders? What?
I want to save my rockets, but if we can eliminate a squad and put these guys down... We'll see. They're fleeing now. Wavering means their morale's broken and they're starting to flee. I could throw another rocket in, but I have to save something in case there's more vehicles. I have a feeling there's going to be more vehicles.
Orders?
And now since they're suppressed, we can move in without too much worry, at least for this turn, and try to push in and finish up the job. These guys are the biggest problem. Or not.
What?
Or not. Actually, I think how we're going to handle these, we're just going to call in the airstrike. We're going to airstrike everything.
Fire mission underway.
Same thing, though, we're going to have to wait. However, I can suppress them with the rocket, and hopefully I won't have to suppress them again.
Don't freak out. Yep.
This is actually going smoother than I thought it would, to be perfectly honest. I need to put those guys down. The special weapons have much less uses. So you can see here, I've already used this a few times. I only have 5 more shots that I can use with this light machine gun special weapon. They're not in range. So I need 40 AP. I have 76.
Fixing myself there.
I don't want to get too close. But we need to be able to suppress them. And that's what we're going for. Just lay them down. And then we can move up one more. Play this very tactically. Oh, dude. The pirates are coming out of the woodwork, man.
Orders.
That's going to be a problem. I can move up here again because I don't have to worry right now. They're suppressed, but I need to keep them there until the airstrike hits. The airstrike isn't like the unguided missile. It'll actually do the job. And if I put shots on them, it disables the specialist with her skill. So now they don't have their rocket launchers, which is also a win for me. I'm going to move my sniper group, though, because these guys should be dead here in a few turns. I don't think I have to worry about them. So I'm going to move my sniper group up. Although the civilians are in my way, I don't think I'm going to be able to get around them. Not cool. I really haven't had to use these guys' rocket launcher yet. I thought there would be more vehicles, but instead, I haven't got to see what these lever action guys can do, and I'm okay with that. I'd rather play it safe. Again, this is only mission 1 of 3, and all of our losses carry over. So we eliminate that squad. These civilians are just taking their time, now that they know there's no threat. Just hanging out in the way of my sniper team. It's cool. Here we go. Strafing run. Done.
Hoorah, Major!
Nice. So we're at 80% of what? 88%? We are at 88% of 80% of the pirates being dead. It's a strange, to me, I think it's a strange way to measure it and say it. But let me know. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I think that could use some tweaking as to how that looks and how it's kind of related to the player.
Yeah.
So in theory, we wipe out these 2 squads. We should be good to go. My squad is kind of in a tough spot here between these 2 guys. But we only need 16 AP to move here. That's cool. They're still taking shots at me. I do love that. That's awesome. And we just want to suppress them. That's why I love the light machine gun. We just want to pin them down, and we'll deal with the others later. Pin these guys down.
They're hugging dirt.
It says they're fleeing, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're fleeing. I've learned that too. They might run away a little bit, but they might not leave the map. They will turn around and shoot you. Better off to just get rid of the rabble. So if we move in on them, again, we can do this without too much worry of cover because everything's cleared out and these guys are pinned down. So this is why suppression is so important. These guys are fully suppressed. They're not going to be able to mount a reasonable attack right away. And I can put shots on them to kind of finish that out.
Orders. 103rd heading to cover.
Man, this is actually going way better than I thought it would. I thought there would be lots of vehicles. I was worried about that laser truck. Right now, we're kind of humming along. Right now, everything is looking pretty good. I'm okay with it. We should be able to move up and take care of some of these guys. Good accuracy, full armor penetration.
What did we ever do to you?
They're pinned down. Put more shots on them.
We come in peace.
The pirates do crack me up a little bit, I will say. These guys... Yeah, so they can still move.
Get to cover.
Hopefully we can finish off this group right here. And at this point, you know,
The best, you get
they're just kind of staying pinned down while we push forward and keep them suppressed. And that is a viable strategy in this game for sure. Suppression and recon, I've learned, are huge. We received some large trinkets, memorabilia, jewelry, and art pieces with trade value that unfortunately we really can't do anything with in the demo. But this is how it'll be in the full game. We got some civilian supplies. We came and saved them just to take their food, spare parts, tools, and materials. Nice, nice. So here's the mission success screen. It kind of scores you. Logistics, how much supplies you used. For using less supplies and completing the mission, you'll get more stars. For not taking casualties, we got 5 stars. And of our effectiveness, we used 9 of 16 rounds. 70% of the civilians survived, so that does count. 19% of the buildings were destroyed. And the difficulty multiplier is only 1 skull. I didn't even see that. I thought it was 2. So we only get a ×1 difficulty multiplier. 4 out of 5 stars. I'll take it. We got a civilian trading post, which in the way back, resources are scarce and piracy is common, so civilian trading posts are worth infinitely more. However, again, in the demo, we don't have any of that strategy layer, so we won't be able to do anything with that. But we also got 18 promotion points, which I would assume with the difficulty multipliers and that kind of thing, that might change how many we get. We can also pick some more armor, or we can get a flamethrower for a vehicle. Ooh, that's tempting. That is tempting. But I don't have enough armor outside of the standard fatigues. I'm gonna grab the soft armor. This is our stat screen. 0 kill count. 2 kill count. This doesn't count individual units, by the way. I think the kill count is just for squads and vehicles. Like she destroyed a vehicle, so we got 1 vehicle kill count. 2 squad kill counts, 2 squad wipes. The pirate outcasts, 2 squads of pirate outcasts. And then you got your damage to HP, how much damage you received, the amount of suppression you applied, and the damage to armor that you did. You also see the loadouts, all that stuff. Pretty cool. One of our squaddies, it says we rescued the 1 squaddie that did go down. High money. So I'm assuming that he's still alive. We did lose 1 squaddie when we got suppressed when we were pushing into that group of pirates in the main compound. So I'm assuming that means he's still alive. Let's see. High money. Yeah, he is still alive. We can look at our squaddie tracker here. It'll tell us. Yeah, see, so he's not deceased. We did manage to rescue him. So there is a chance that even if your squaddies go down and your squad leaders, I know they said, there is a chance that they will survive and move on to the next mission. There's also like a bleed out timer that I saw earlier. Hopefully you guys don't have to see that, but yeah. So here we are. We got the mission done, and you can see now we have the path to choose our next step in the operation. We can either protect the town, prevent hostile units from entering the target zone, which is like a defense mission. That sounds kind of cool. I haven't done one of those yet, actually. Or clear out IEDs. They've clearly established a bomb maker somewhere nearby. That kind of worries me. Having to deal with landmines is always a pain. I'm probably going to go with the protect town. But that's the first mission in this operation. This is the first episode of the playthrough. I hope you guys join me for the next 2, which will be going up. Every day I'm going to have 1 episode go up. There's 3 total, hopefully, assuming we complete the operation. So this is the first episode, the first mission, first episode, etc., 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 all that stuff. Stay tuned for the second episode. It will be up tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, what you guys think of the demo so far, how you feel about everything, and thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.